I grew up in Cootamundra and I went to school at Coota Public School and Cootamundra High School, and then moved to Canberra when I was 18 to study media and communications. My biggest influences when I was younger was my mum and my grandmother, and still are today. My grandmother taught me how to play the piano, so that's where my music influence first started. And mum was a single mother, so she ran her own business and raised us. So seeing her do that, I think that's what inspired me to start my own business later on. So growing up, I was always into music and very musical. So I started with piano. And then throughout school, learnt an instrument, played in the band, sang in the choir, and always had an interest in music. And it was like my stress relief. I would always play music after school, or if there was something wrong or I was angry, I would always turn to music. So how the business came about was my son, on his 3rd birthday, had a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. And from that point, our lives changed, and I could no longer work full-time in the public service. So I had to think of a way that I could still make money and provide for my family, but also be there for my son and be able to take him to his therapies and work with him so that he would be able to go to school and function. So I thought music. Music is what I know, it's what I'm passionate about, so I had to find a way that I could make money out of it and make it work. The biggest challenges I faced was, one, not really having any startup money or having a location. I thought about renting different studios, but they were so far out of reach financially for me. So I approached the Conservatorium of Music to see if, one, they had an early childhood music program, and two, if they would have any available space for us to start with. So that worked out really well. We are now partnering with them and providing the early age learning with music for them.
The Kinder Music program that she implements is strongly driven by curriculum outcomes. It has a very clear-cut process. The staff involved in the program are required to engage in ongoing development. That actual emphasis on good quality outcomes and a structured program have actually fed into the other areas.
Money-wise, I had to really put into the business to start with so that I could grow and get more customers. I think we started with like 23 children when we first started, and now we're up to around 300 a term, which is really great. But of course there was a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours from that point to now where we are today. So when I started, I wasn't a very good business person. I've never had any business background training, so I went in really with blindfolds on. I've learned a lot over the last 4 years, and I think what really got us going to the point of having a lot of customers and a lot of interest in what we do is getting the systems right. I think too, we connect really well with families. We provide a service that I guess they can't experience at home or with anyone else. So Marvellous Max came about from Harry. Harry is my inspiration for this program. Marvellous Max is an autism awareness animation video that helps primary school children understand what autism spectrum disorder is, but it also helps children understand that everybody is different and to value other people's differences and to also value your own differences.
It's a concept that, again, it's looking at differences in children, which brings everyone together. Amy has actually herself delivered this to as many local schools who have asked her to come and talk about it, which has been amazing too, because then she can be on the coalface, hearing what the children have to say and answering their questions from her perspective, but also starting that conversation. And really that's what Marvellous Max has done. It has really started conversation.
Even though we're not a multi-million-dollar business or we're not nationally recognised, I'm doing something that works for me and my family, and I'm achieving things. So it was really nice to be recognised on a national scale. And with Marvellous Max, we've just reached 260 schools Australia-wide, and it's also showing in 4 other countries. So we're really proud of how far we've reached with the program. We've got a lot more schools to go, but yeah, we're pretty proud of how far we've come. So in 2012, which is when our business started, social media was on the change. We decided to jump on board Facebook with our business page and started noticing that people were actually responding to what we were putting out there, and it was free. So we had to start thinking about how we could really reach those people more and gain more likes and more customers. So I think I started doing some video posts because I noticed that photo posts and just status updates weren't reaching as much as I'd like. And from that point, we had a massive growth. We had probably a 50% increase of kids in our classes. So that was a really big boost for us. And I guess from that point onwards, we've really had to stay current with technology and how to do things and how to reach people, because people get bored of seeing the same thing all the time. So we started to create stories and to connect with our customers on an emotional level. So why you want to come to our classes. So that's really worked for us a lot. At the moment, I would say at least 95% of our customers and clients come from social media. How would people describe me? Loud, talked a lot at school, got in trouble a lot for talking, and probably least likely to succeed was one comment I got off a teacher, so I always loved that.
I would describe Amy as incredibly passionate, unassuming, very honest. Everybody will benefit from knowing Amy.
When she's in this space, when she's here working, there's incredible focus. There's this incredible tenacity and a determination to achieve. She's just in there, she does it, she's determined, she's quite willful, you know, and I would say very much a force to be reckoned with.
So my family's made up of Scott, who I met when I was just 18, and we married in 2004. And then in 2006 along came Poppy, and 2008 Harrison was born, and then 2012 Evelyn came along. So our family loves to go to the Wagga Beach for fun. We spend a lot of our weekends, especially in spring and summer. We take a picnic down there. The kids love splashing in the water. It's a really great place for families to go to. We all love scooting. We all have scooters, Scott and I and the children, so we love getting out and around town. Living centrally allows us to go anywhere on our scooter, which is fabulous. And we love to travel to the beach. So each year we take a trip down to Merimbula and we enjoy family vacations down there. So what I love about being in business is that I can do what I want to do and be creative and who I really am as a person, but still be flexible enough to raise my children and be there for them when they need me most. For my clients, I love that they get to spend time with each other for 45 minutes a week. I know that in that time they're engaged, they're connecting, they're creating beautiful memories together, but they're also learning. So our programs are not just fun, they're educational as well. So right from 0 up to 7, with the different age groups, they're learning so much. So we're working on rhythm, we're working on fine motor development, gross motor development, hand-eye coordination, all of these beautiful things, but they're doing it in a sense that they don't really know that they're doing it. So I guess the biggest one of all though is the fact that we are instilling a love of music in children.